A week had passed since Bichir's impressive display of power against the troll, and he found himself sitting in the Baskerville clan's dining area, staring down at a bowl of unappetizing miscellaneous meat porridge. While eating his food, Bichir noticed that everyone was avoiding him, which didn't come as a surprise to him since power was everything in their family. But he was pleased when he saw that even Hugo was taken aback by his recent display of power. Bichir reflected on what he had revealed about himself so far, including his Baskerville second technique and mid-rank sword expertise. However, he also knew the truth that he was in fact a low-rank graduator who could weakly perform the Baskerville fifth technique. With the skill he obtained from the troll, he believed he was now stronger than the average graduator. He then remembered that he had been eating a lot more since obtaining the skill for Beelzebub's third slot, which now had a super speed regeneration troll with a C+ rating. Suddenly, the triplets appeared behind Bichir, causing him to be surprised and cautious. He thought to himself that he didn't want to deal with them again, so he turned back to his food and resumed eating. The triplets quickly explained that they just wanted to tell him that he was so cool when he defeated Cerberus and the troll. Bichir was so surprised that he spat out his porridge. The triplets asked him if he was okay, but Bichir was suspicious of their motives. He thought to himself that it might be some kind of two-faced technique or deceitful policy. He considered beating them up before thinking about it more, but before he could act, the head butler, Barrymore, appeared behind him and called out his name. Bichir was surprised to see him and wondered why he was here. Barrymore then informed him that he should hurry to the Patriarch room, and Bichir wondered why Hugo had summoned him. In Baskerville Clan's Patriarch office, Patriarch Hugo sat on his chair as someone entered and greeted him. It was Morgue Clan Patriarch by proxy Adolf Morgue. Hugo acknowledged that it had been a while, and Adolf noted that he hoped the annual event would go smoothly. Hugo assured him that the joint training had always gone without a hitch. Adolf brought up the incident from last year when 2 children were seriously injured, one from each family. Hugo tried to downplay it, saying it was but a scratch and that Morgue's children seemed to be quite dramatic. Adolf retorted that it was because the Morgues were noble and dignified. The Baskervilles and the Morgues were once on good terms as they were a renowned mage clan and iron-blooded sword clan respectively. The past emperor had once said that magic and swords are a complementary pair, and because of this they began joint training sessions for children between the ages of 8 and 15, which was carried out annually in a good atmosphere. However, a problem arose when a ruby mine was discovered between their territories, and blood was spilt over the conflict. As a result, the 2 patriarchs came to be on bad terms, but they had to continue with the joint training as per the Emperor's command. Adolf had come in his brother's stead to ensure that the event went smoothly. Adolf mentioned to Hugo that he had heard news about a supernova appearing in the Baskerville family, which was a great blessing to the Empire. He explained that a rare genius, who was perhaps only born once a century, had been born to the Baskervilles. However, Hugo responded with pride, saying that it was not that big of a deal. Adolf noticed Hugo's reaction and was surprised that Hugo actually received the compliment. But then, Adolf mentioned that the Morgues also had a genius in their hands and called for his sister's daughter, Camus, to come into the room. Camus, a girl with red hair, entered the room and Adolf introduced her to Hugo as Raspani's daughter. Adolf turned to Camus and asked her if she was going to greet the Patriarch. But instead of answering the question, Camus accused Hugo for being the thief who stole their ruby mine and demanded that he give it back. This accusation didn't sit well with Hugo, who gave Adolf an angry stare and questioned the accusation. Camus then explained that Adolf had referred to the annoying chin beard as the thief who stole the ruby mine. Adolf denied ever saying such a thing, but Camus insisted that he had said it an hour and 42 minutes ago, right before getting off the carriage. Hugo, still trying to control his anger, asked for clarification, but Adolf tried to defuse the situation by suggesting that there was a misunderstanding. However, Hugo said that there was no need for Adolf to explain the Morgue clan's problems with children's education to him. Camus persisted in her demand for her rubies to be returned, complaining that she couldn't even do research without them. Adolf tried to calm her down by calling out her name, but to no avail. Hugo was losing his patience and commented in anger that it seemed like the Morgues didn't teach manners at all. Adolf defended Camus, questioning what Hugo planned on doing to a child and if he was threatening an 8-year-old girl. This left Hugo speechless as he couldn't bring himself to act in such a way that would hurt his pride. Suddenly, a new voice entered the room, remarking that the Morgues don't teach their children not to envy what belongs to others. The speaker of this voice was none other than Bichir, and the head butler informed Hugo that he had brought the young master. Adolf was taken aback by the sudden appearance of Bichir and couldn't help but wonder if he was the Baskerville supernova. However, his thoughts were interrupted when he realized that Camus, who was sitting right next to him, had disappeared. Camus, on the other hand, had approached Bichir and demanded to know what he had just said. Adolf called out her name, trying to stop her from causing a scene. Meanwhile, Bichir was analyzing Camus, wondering if she was the Morg clan's iron-blooded empress, Camus Morg.